I assume we're going to talk about Christmas music in general as well, right?
I don't know. We might have a lot to say about this album.
Okay. I'm looking forward to it.
We might have a lot to say about this album.
Oh, no. I don't know how to take that.
Here's what I'll say. We might have a lot to say about this album.
Okay.
I bet you have a lot to say about this album.
I could talk about it, sure.
All right. I might let you do that.
Thanks.
Let you. That sounded horrible. I mean, I might just take a back seat to that. But you can still talk in the back seat. In fact, sometimes those people talk more.
That's true.
That is true. That's how driving somewhere works. Hey everyone ever, and welcome to 20th Century Pop, the show where we try to understand the present while living in the past. My name is Tim Blevins.
And I am Bob Canning. And Tim, are you excited for the holiday season?
Well, I don't know if you mean the holiday that actually is happening, I think, when this goes up, the Thanksgiving, or if you're talking about the impending holiday that already started, so not really impending. Christmas? The Christmas season? The Hanukkah season? The Kwanzaa season?
You know what? When I say holiday season, I think it includes Thanksgiving. I think of the season as being like from Thanksgiving to New Year's.
You don't think it precedes Thanksgiving a little bit? What with the ads and that movie Last Christmas just came out?
It might a little bit, but I really think it starts with Thanksgiving. At least that's how I see it.
I do feel like the thing that signifies Christmas, well, I think there's the TV specials, but it's kind of like the decorations go up early, the decorations stay up late, but the music, the sound of the carols and the songs of Christmas is something that, to me, is very much wedged between the evening of Thanksgiving to the end of Christmas Day. Like, because those songs, I feel like they don't have the power, they don't have a lingering impression past that. And you're right, I think what you're saying is too early now. But yeah, Christmas carols, basically, is what we'll be talking about today. And I like Christmas carols. I like Christmas music. I'm a fan. Last year, we talked about them a little bit with a Star Wars Christmas album. Less of a fan of that. But today, we're doing a compact discussion. We're going to talk about a single album. It's a single album that is near and dear to your heart, maybe?
I don't know if it's near and dear. I do like the artist, Mr. Harry Connick Jr.
Yeah, you've talked about him a lot in the past. This is the first time we're really approaching an album of his, I think.
Yeah, I was thinking about that as I was preparing for this podcast. It's like, I'm glad we got to squeeze a Harry Connick Jr. album in here, because I don't think you'll ever want to talk about or need to any of his other, works. But this Christmas album, this is something you and I have shared, and I think something others out there have probably heard at least one or two songs from. So yeah, it makes sense to talk about this.
What's the name of the album, or this Harry Connick Jr. album we're going to talk about?
So this is Harry Connick's first Christmas album, When My Heart Finds Christmas, released in 1993.
This album has sold a lot. This is a pretty big selling album since they've been tracking it. There's a company called SoundScan that tracked the sales of albums and CDs that kind of started keeping track in 1991. And this is the 12th best-selling Christmas album in the US, which, to say out loud now, I'm like, that's not really a fact, but I mean, it's a fact. It's not really interesting because there's a lot of points to it. But just the idea, like, I didn't realize that people really dig this album. To me, it's you. You're the one with the album, and that's how I heard it. But the people really swooped this up, and I was wondering, do you think it's important to people who's doing the Christmas albums, or they're doing the songs they like for Christmas? Do you think when people are getting Christmas music, are they specifically signaling out the artist, or is it more just kind of like, these are songs you can hear anyone do? These are songs that have their purpose, their meaning, their feeling.
I think there's a lot of people that do single out the artist, and that they're looking for that familiar artist that they like, and to hear their rendition of songs they already know, and then maybe also to be introduced to some new songs. But yeah, I think that's how it works. I think today, though, and this is something I thought about too, it's like, I don't play this album around the holidays like I used to, and certainly like I did that year. I don't just put the album in, hit play, hang out for whatever runtime it is, and hear the whole thing.
Too long. I think the runtime is too long.
Too long. But like today, you just put on Spotify or one of the other, what are some of the other, Apple Music or something, Google Play.
We don't have any sponsors. You don't have to say them all.
I'm going to list at least 6 more. But no, yeah, I think you just put something on a random, or you turn on that LA radio station that plays Christmas music nonstop for 14 weeks. I think everything is just sort of just available and out there and on random now. I don't know. I've not been around Christmas parties or events where somebody just puts on a particular album. And that's how I grew up. Like I said, my mom we had records. We had a record player. We would put on those Christmas records, and that's all we would listen to. We didn't have the luxury of just putting on something on the internet and just totally at random hearing a vast array of versions of the same song over and over again by different artists.
Well, let's approach this album then. Let's take this one track by track and see it how it works, how it holds together. It opens up with "SLEIGH RIDE," which is a traditional Christmas song. Track. That's great. I mean, it's jazzy, it's orchestrated, it's a little Frank Sinatra-esque.
Yeah, it's Sinatra-esque, which is what Harry Connick Jr. was known for initially, I think. But yeah, it's your big band version of "SLEIGH RIDE." It's got the horn section just kicking in. It's a slightly different arrangement, but still very familiar. Yeah, it's a great opener.
Did this track wow you when you put it in? When you're like, "Whoa, this is something hot, fresh, and new," or
like you're talking about the very first time I heard it?
The very first time, and even going back to it today.
I probably liked it a lot. I don't know if I was wowed by it, but I was pleased that it sounded the way it did, because it's exactly what I would think a Harry Connick Jr. version of "SLEIGH RIDE" would sound like. And so I wasn't disappointed.
You weren't disappointed, but Harry Connick's, I mean, this is what, and we may have talked about this before, but I mean, here we are in 1993. We're talking about when this album came out. Here you and I are sitting in a room with our Pearl Jam CDs, with our singles soundtrack, with all these, I would say, more modern sounding of the era 90s and late 80s sounding bands. What was the attraction? And this spreads a little further from the album, but what was the pull to you, this kid in Boston for the first time, to be hearing Harry Connick Jr.? Like what? Because my guess is that's the only reason you picked up the album, because it was Harry Connick doing Christmas songs. You weren't just looking randomly.
Yeah, I mean, because I was a Harry Connick Jr. fan in high school. And we've talked about this probably in our When Harry Met Sally episode, because it was
linked in the show notes, maybe.
Because at the time I was listening to just pop radio, Madonna, Phil Collins. That was all I could hear on the radio. And then
so when the other songs played, you just covered up?
It's just there was no sound. I didn't even have to cover up. I don't know how, but I could not hear any other music. But when I was in high school, I got into the school musicals, and I sang in the choir, and I had a decent voice, and I guess the choir director wanted me to be in the vocal jazz group, and so he lured me into that group, which was a lot of fun, and I got to experience jazz music and sing it. And then Harry Connick Jr. was sort of rising up as a unique musical star at that moment, and so I picked up one of his albums and really loved it. Loved the big band sound of it, and so you're
attracted to this big band sound. That's so foreign to me. I know we've discussed it before, but it's never appealed to me. It appeals to me more now, and that I can tolerate it, but that is not something I was looking to find.
My grandparents, when they had a tape player in their car, and they didn't have tapes, but they wanted to buy a tape player for their car. And we ended up, I don't know if they picked it out or if my mom or my aunt picked it out for them, but they ended up getting like a collection of 40s Glenn Miller Orchestra big band stuff, like different bands and songs of that era. And just sort of osmosis, I guess. I'm in the backseat as we're driving places, and that's what they would play. And, familiarity breeds, what's the phrase? Familiarity breeds favor.
Too much? Oh, okay.
No, it breeds favor. It's like the more...
Familiarity could adopt a little, too. Let's face the facts. We just want to have someone we pass our genes on to.
So, yeah, I just kind of enjoyed that sound. And then when there was a modern version of that sound, it could be my version, because now this is my era. my generation, Harry Connick Jr. And so,
Is he performing this live? Is this first track done live, do you think?
I don't think so. I think this is all studio recordings.
So why does he talk to the band?
Because that's what you do when you're jazzing it up, man. You get the band going.
But they're not there, right? You just said it's not recorded live. These are studio musicians. He's singing over their tracks.
I mean, it might have been recorded live in the studio.
Oh, okay, that's what I meant. I
don't think it's a concert recording.
No. I wasn't saying that. I was just saying, do you think this is one take? Everyone's there.
Well, yeah,
or is it a well-produced, multi-layered production, and he's trying to create, Harry Connick Jr. is trying to create this feeling of a live show, I think.
Well,
telling the band to keep up with
I would want to look into that, because I don't know if you can layer trumpets. I don't think trumpets can do their bit separate from everything else. I think you need the band. I think you might be onto something there. I haven't really thought about how jazz music and big band music might be recorded differently than like a pop song.
But and I guess that's what I'm wondering, is he authentically a jazz and big band musician, or is he a pop artist performing in that style, trying to elicit and create that style?
I think he's authentically that.
Yeah?
Yeah. I mean, it's not like he has early recordings that are a different sound and then he adopted this sound. This has been his sound.
Like a Halloween album or
from
a
day
4th
one.
of July album.
No, I'm saying he didn't start with acoustic guitar balladry. It was always piano and big band.
Okay, and I guess the When Harry Met Sally soundtrack, at least, it's a lot of old standards. His early albums are a lot of old standards, right?
Yeah, intermingled. He's always had his own tracks in there. I think his first released album was just covers, and then his tracks on When Harry Met Sally were covers, and then his first, what I consider his first release, was the album We Are in Love, and he had, it was 50-50, I think, with his own music that he wrote and arranged, and then the standards, which he also arranged, so he's still putting his touch on those standards.
Oh no, in this album, I think he wants you to know he's putting he's the leader. He's the leader. I think that's why he's talking to the band, so you have in your mind this image of this old-fashioned, again, Sinatra kind of performer, and that might be belittling him. I'm not meaning to. There's something about this album, I think we're going to get into it with a couple of tracks, where it feels a little smug to me.
Oh, he's always felt smug. Yeah, but he's just one of those, in a gentle way.
You can't be sincere if you're smug.
Well, that's kind of like what I was saying. I don't know if you're going to use what we talked about a little earlier. The video for the second track on this album, which is the title track, When My Heart Finds Christmas. The video for this is... It's so weird because
that's the next track too. So this is a good segue. Let's talk about track 2, When My Heart Finds Christmas. Yeah,
and so this track slows it down. You've got a string arrangement. It's very sentimental. It's about your heart. It's about feeling. It's about emotion. It's about when your heart finds Christmas. There might be other holidays that you live through, but once you get to Christmas, everything changes. It's beautiful. It's happy. It's children laughing. It's cheerful. And so take that song just as is. It's a pretty sappy, sentimental track, and not one that I really care for, even though it's the title track of this album.
And he wrote it. Did we say that he wrote this song? This is him.
Yes,
writing.
This is a Harry Connick Jr. original. So Sleigh Ride was...
A Harry Connick Jr. original.
What?
I'm going to cut that out. Don't worry. That was stupid.
Did I not say his name completely?
No, you said it fine. Let Bob talk, Tim, is what the audience is saying.
But so you take that song as is. It's cheesy, I think. It's overly sentimental.
It's saccharine. This is a saccharine fucking song.
But talk about being smug is what you called him.
Yeah.
So you take that song, you don't imagine that there'd be a smugness to it. But when in the video for this song, you see his smugness. He's singing this.
Oh, there's a smugness, by the way, in the lyrics, too.
Is there?
So the video might be smuggier than this, but...
I guess it is, because he's singing directly to the camera, and he starts out with this look of forlornness, it's the saddest thing, but I'm going to be happy again when my heart finds Christmas. And then he just starts smiling at you. Like,
how old is he at this time? What's his age bracket at this point of his career?
At this point, he's probably 30.
So maybe? He's young. He's still even though young. He seems so much older, he's pretty young. So he's full of himself. This song sounds very self-satisfied with itself. This song knows it's making you wet with his sincerity, but I just...
That's exactly how I take it, too. It's like he was trying to write a classic standard.
That's exactly. Song. He's trying to be this thing.
Yeah.
And it doesn't...
That's how I see it.
Does it work for you? I just played my card. No. This song is... You don't like this song, do you?
I don't care for this song.
No, I wrote a few lyrics down, and I'm just like, in my eyes are Valentines and Easter eggs and New Year's wine. Like he's tying all these. He's trying to sound like the seasons pass, the traditions pass. My heart finds Christmas. My eyes will shine like new, and it's just. This almost lost me on the second track, and I actually did not remember the song except for the singing of the title and the chorus. So I thought, oh yeah, that's probably something from a movie or something. But this,
I would have skipped over it after a while.
When we used to listen to it in the room.
Yeah,
yeah. So once I would have skipped over it this time.
Once I've heard the album a few times, I'm like, okay, these are the tracks I can skip.
But you're putting this at the top of your album, not you. The album itself. It's playing this. Obviously, this is meant to be This is meant to drive the point home. It's the name of the album. You're talking about this video where he's looking right at you. The cover of this album is a traditional, like, I got my sweater on. It's a smooth, warm looking photo. I'm just going to get into your ears and fuck the shit out of you or whatever. And it's just, it doesn't play for real for me. And telling me he's 30 makes it worse. Because it's like all those douchebags in college that were suddenly acting like they were in the movie Swingers from seeing Swingers and into swing music and snapping their hands with the dumb jackets and using dumb slang. I mean, this is what he feels like. He wants this to, like you said, he wants to make a classic Christmas album. Because I know what it's like. We had like a Bing Crosby Christmas album growing up that I think meant a lot to me. And people have their traditional, maybe it's a Frank Sinatra one, maybe it's a Peggy Lee or Dolly Parton or whoever. He wants this on the shelf. An instant classic is what he's trying to make. And I think and that doesn't work though. And he's writing half this album himself, I would think, right? A lot of these are original songs. I mean, this next song, the third track, the one that I really remember from this, It Must Have Been Old Santa Claus. He talks to the band in this one too, right?
I think so. I mean, any of the upbeat songs, Harry Connick is generally, saying, yeah, go Dennis, or whatever. I don't think he's ever had anybody in his band named Dennis. But they do the thing in jazz where it's like every instrument gets a solo, which they don't really do on this album. But
I'm thankful they don't do on this 4-track Too Many album.
on one of his other tracks, and I can't even tell you which one, there's a stand-up bass solo where the guy's like, fingering the bass and getting a good beat going.
I don't think that's what that's called.
Probably not.
I don't think that's how that goes.
But Harry Connick shouts out to him, "Go, Benny, beat that dog, Benny." And so
I bet the guy's name was like Raymond or Frank or Matthew. And it's just, that's the thing, like, because Benny, it's got the Y at the end. It's kind of like a swing, and you can swing your head and snap your fingers while you're saying Benny. This is what I'm saying. The character of Harry Character Jr. here is too smug to me for me to be invested in. That's why this song kind of works, because it's kind of a goofy, some good drums, whatever, playing song. And this song feels modern. This felt pretty much like, okay, it's not modern now. Like we said, it's almost 30 years old.
Right.
But it felt of the time. Like this, he could have stuck on an album of other tracks. Like he didn't have to release a whole Christmas album. You put this out there like Christmas rapping. People find it. People can hear it. And that's, I don't mind it. And so his smugness works in this song because this song is a goof. It's a funny song.
Yeah, well, I think his smugness, as you're referring to it,
constantly
is part of his overall personality anyway. And I don't know if it's smugness as much as it's like just a guy having a good time.
That's smug if you're going to put that on an album and make sure people know. That's the definition of smugness.
It's hard.
Look at me up here. Look what I'm doing. I'm having a good time. We're snapping our fingers. I'm telling Benny to fuck a dog. I mean, this is really...
But you're saying it works on this song, and that's why it's hard for me to listen to almost every other track on this, because every other track is more of a traditional sounding, Christmas faux classic.
You put on top of that faux classics, he's writing things he wants to be classics. This next song, we're coming up to a song called The Blessed Dawn of Christmas Day. It's the 4th track.
Yes.
He wrote this one.
He did.
And you can tell it's really churchy.
Yep.
This one, he actually says that Jesus died for him. That's pretty self-centered. But I did not like this song one bit. Do you like it? Are you a fan of, I guess I should let you say that first because I don't want to influence your opinion.
So no. This is, like I said, like every other song I enjoyed, because every other song was a big band song. So we went big band Sleigh Ride, and then sincere strings for When My Heart Finds Christmas, and then big band Must Have Been Old Santa Claus, and then we go strings again and hymnal with Blessed Dawn of Christmas Day, which again, like you're saying, it's supposed to sound classic. Like, that's how I feel. It's like it's supposed to be almost like a hymn you would sing in church every holiday season. Like, right? You would just know it all the time.
And do you think
Silent
people
Night.
liked it though? Yeah, another swinging big band hit to fuck a dog too. Silent Night, but fuck it, Benny, ride that dog or whatever. I don't quite recall.
He beats the dog. He beats it.
Beat the Jesus, Benny.
I know.
Whoa, Benny, tell that anthropomorphic cab to lay off that dog. But do you? And I'm sorry. Like, do you listen to this? Do you remember listening to this track?
Nope, I skipped over this one too. Like, I listened to it the first couple times because I want to get a sense.
But it doesn't resonate with you at all.
No, it doesn't.
It does. It sounds like a hymn, and that's the thing. Like, to put on an album, you're counting on someone to want to listen to it. He wrote it, so he thought someone was going to listen to it.
But he also had an interesting audience. So he had some really hip, cool cats like me listening to his music. But I think he was also
hip, cool cats like yourself.
He was also a draw to my grandparents and my mom, that older generation. This is the music that they grew up on. And so here's somebody else, fresh new music of that sound, of that era. So I think in a way he was playing to that audience too. But we're getting to a stretch of non-Harry Connick songs. So now we're getting to a stretch of originals, traditionals. Because I think he really only did, out of the 12 songs or whatever, only 4 are Harry Connick songs.
That's a lot. That's a lot on your Christmas album. Like, I could see a Christmas album having one new track. Here's a little something I put together about the elderly and reindeer. But to top load your album with those hits, you are saying, you are smug. And even though you're probably also self-aware and it's probably true, you're saying people will buy anything that I do. The people coming to this Christmas album are coming to it because it's Harry Connick Jr. And that's true.
It's exactly what I did. Yeah.
But he doesn't have to flaunt it. He should do something like you're saying, like, here, track 5. What's it called?
Let It Snow, Let It Snow, Let It Snow.
Yeah, that's a traditional song.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not really a song you can eat. This is the thing I noticed of all the songs here. You can't really make this song your own. I mean, this one always sounds like someone doing a cover.
True.
I mean, you can have favorite versions of this song, but I think it's still always just, if you like this song, it's because you liked the song, Let It Snow, Let It Snow, Let It Snow. Ren Hoek from Ren and Stimpy could perform it. Harry Connick Jr. from Harry Connick Jr. could perform it. That dog that Benny has been riding with the strength of a long-term relationship still going strong could probably howl it, bark it, and it would be just as enjoyable. So this is kind of what I would expect from a Christmas album.
Yeah, I like that about 1 minute in, and I think it's only a 2-minute long version of this song. So
I like that.
Half of the song, the second half of the song, is mostly instrumental, and it's just the big band kind of rocking it out, and I really like that part of it. But yeah, him singing it,
I could have taken more of that.
No different from anything else.
And that's good, though. That's what I want on my Harry Connick Jr. album, because, again, a Christmas album, I'm picking it up. It's like, like those... what were those Keith Haring Christmas albums that came out every year? What were those called?
Joy to the...
Oh, What a Christmas? What were they called?
Something like that.
It's not that's what I call Christmas, but they were a very special Christmas. They were called a very special Christmas. There's like a green one, a red one, and every year like 10 different pop artists.
They were like charity albums mostly, too, right?
Yeah, they were exactly there. I think they were raising for AIDS awareness. I think I have one. I'm sorry, I don't quite remember. But you get like Sting singing I Saw Three Ships Come Sailing In. And you have Chris Cornell singing Ave Maria. And you have No Doubt singing what I didn't realize was a cover called Oi to the World. But you have these popular musicians doing covers of traditional songs. And I think once or twice you got a new song. I think Smashing Pumpkins and Dave Matthews both did. Did I just almost use my name to describe Dave Matthews? No, he performs with someone named Tim. I want to make it clear. It's Dave Matthews and Tim something.
Tim Reynolds.
But thank you. So, and Tim Blevins. So they're both, they might write a new Christmas song, but mostly it's people you like covering stuff, which makes it easier to buy it.
Right.
Because you're like, I got to have Christmas music anyways. I might as well have the Bare Naked Ladies singing, I don't know, Rudolph. I forget what they're singing on it.
Sure.
But that's kind of what I'm looking for. And that's why I think, you gravitate to an album like this maybe because of that. It's like, I got to pick up a Christmas album. I like him. I've got it. And again, it's different now. And I think you were saying this, I don't know if it was before the episode or it's been during it. Listening to music now where you can type up and pull up stuff on YouTube or make your playlists, it's a little different. I don't know if this album would happen today because of that.
Yeah, I mean, there's still artists putting out Christmas albums, but I don't think they're as successful as number 12 in the U.S. When My Heart Finds Christmas.
On the SoundScan chart started in 1991. Yeah. No, but this, you bought this because it was an artist you like. And I was actually surprised to hear you were saying even early on, you skipped around on this.
Oh, yeah.
You skipped around on this because it's far too long. We're not even halfway through yet. We should keep going, but there's 14 tracks.
I think we said there were 12 tracks. There's actually 14.
Yes, there are 14 tracks. We're getting up to 6 in a minute, but this album, we're in the stretch of the album I like right now because right after Let It Snow, Let It Snow, Let It Snow. Like, do you remember where the album flipped? It's not Little Drummer Boy. The next track is Little Drummer Boy. Would that still be side one? You had the CD.
I've only had the CD.
So when you flip the CD, it sounds awful, right?
That's terrible.
That's bad.
Yeah.
You should keep it with the label side up. Yeah. So track 6 on this, the Little Drummer Boy, my keyboard must have stuck. It says Little Drummer Oi. I do like this one. This is I was saying with the last one, no one can really make Let It Snow their own. This is a good version of a classic song that I like. And he does a little bit of arranging on it, the drums at the beginning and everything. I think that's kind of different from how the song
sounds a little more military style than
Oh, it does. That's a little bit of an attraction. You're right. It does sound a little military.
Yeah.
But I like this. This is enjoyable. This would have done well on one of those very special Christmas albums.
Sure. Yeah, I don't know. I didn't like this take of it.
Oh, no?
Necessarily. No.
Of Little Drummer Oi?
I'll be honest. I've never liked the Little Drummer Boy song.
Oh, really? What about Little Drummer Boy Book 2? No, you don't like this song. Oh, well.
No, I don't like this. I don't like this version. Like the backing vocals come in at weird times and highlight lines of the song that you're just not expecting to be highlighted, I thought.
Like when he rides that dog, with the passion of a man just out of prison.
When Benny stones that dog, yeah.
Oh, Jesus. We have totally different versions of what Benny did.
I guess so.
He's really killing it, or he's really killing it. But, okay, so you're not a fan of this song. Easy
Not
enough.
this version, no. Yeah, or the song in general.
But if this was just a straightforward, again, let's whittle it down, Mr. Connick Jr. Here's 10 or 9 Christmas songs, one of which is new. You could probably pull through this because sometimes Christmas music is just background music. When you know it well enough, it's just playing there. You don't have to be focused on it. It's serving its purpose, and that's fine. That's this one that gives the band something to do. You follow that up with another classic song, which I already mentioned in regards to Chris Cornell, track 7, Ave Maria.
Yeah. This should have just been a piano cover. Like he shouldn't have sung it. His vocal stylings does this song no justice.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. But the piano at the beginning, because it's like a minute and a half of just him playing the melody on piano, I think it's great.
That's right. He's a piano player. I forget that.
He is.
Yeah.
And so I think that
he's great. By the way, I think he's just playing Ave Maria. I don't think it's not like he's doing one-handed Allentown.
No, he's not. But he's doing it, and it's really pretty. I mean, the song's pretty to begin with, but then his playing, he like pauses in different spots than you might expect, and it's just a nice, pretty piano version of it. And if it had only been that, I might, this would go on. If I was making a mix of Christmas music and it was just that piano, I would put that on there probably every time.
He can't carry this tune, huh?
I don't think so.
He can't pull it off. No, he's only showing off here, and it doesn't work. This, to me, is the second worst track
of all time.
The first being I Feel Like Chicken Tonight, But this, it's funny. I even typed in my notes, second worst one. I couldn't tell you what on this album I now think is the first worst one. I think it's probably When My Heart Finds Christmas, but they blended together. Yeah, no, I didn't. And this is a traditional. I didn't care for this. I've never cared for this song. Like you were saying with Little Drummer Boy, I've never been a fan of Ave Maria. Not even when Christopher Cornell did it. But again, I feel like if this was just 10 traditionals, why wouldn't he do this? This can be your churchy one. I mean, Christmas, I guess a lot of it's churchy, but this could be your choir one. But yeah, it would have been nice if he had stuck. He doesn't have just an instrumental on this, does he?
No, he doesn't.
No, this would have been a good one. You're absolutely right. Plus, it kind of would slow the album down. But instead, we just get him in all his smugness showing you the notes he can get. And I don't think I need that right now. I don't think I need to hear that.
Yeah, I almost feel like he sang that one for his mom.
You don't think he's saying it for all the moms?
Yeah, probably.
I feel like this is, you know what I hear in this song a little bit? You know what kind of is, and it's almost all in sync. It's just like this universal 100 to 200, just different individual legs squishing together. It's just like a make your mom wet kind of track, isn't it? I mean, isn't it? That's what he's doing. That's what Harry Connick's voice is trying to do.
Probably.
And maybe to the dads too. I've only ever seen him kind of rubbing up against women, and I'm sure he sings to them directly and holds the microphone in a weird position. I mean, that's his goal, and this song is just. Yeah, I did not. I wanted to turn it off with that song. Thankfully, I didn't because...
You must march on.
That's true. To which song?
Parade of the Wooden Soldiers. Mm-hmm. Which, honestly, I didn't really know before getting this album. I didn't...
Yeah.
It wasn't like a Christmas song, a Christmas classic for me. I think it's from a movie.
Is it? I was going to ask because the main question when it started... And through most of it, the main question I guess I had, and I was going to ask you, so I can ask you now, really, what the fuck is this? I mean, who cares about this? Why does anybody want to fucking listen to this song for 6 fucking minutes? This song is awful. I think it's from Babes in Toyland, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, that's the Laurel and Hardy movie?
Maybe. I'm saying what I think I read on Wikipedia, so I'm not quite sure.
Yeah. I think it's supposed to be like the Santa Christmas toy shop sort of nod.
It does, but we already had a song about Santa.
Yeah, but not toys. Not wooden soldiers.
No, that's true, but I'm just like, does this even... Who thinks of this fucking song? Why do you put this... This is a bizarro, out of left field kind of track to put on your album.
Well, I think maybe he... And I don't know the original, so I don't know how true it is to what the original was, but I think he had a sense of how he could jazz it and do like that syncopation to make it sound like it's a mechanical toy. So again, I don't know if that's already inherent in the song, the original song, or if that's something he played with, but I don't know. I think if you've got the horns and you can kind of tinker and use, start stop rhythms, it's a good song to kind of show off your skills, I guess.
But on a Christmas album, because again, you're trying to get an audience. Christmas albums get bought and played to be played ultimately in the background. You put them on when you're decorating the tree. You put them on when you're opening presents. You put them on when you're sitting there reading whatever you're reading. So why go jarringly experimental in the middle of a Christmas album?
I think maybe because this is another one of those attempts to capture not just the hip, cool hipsters like me of the era, but my grandparents.
Way to keep complimenting yourself, by the way.
Thank you. But my grandparents would have
knew you back then. Just keep that in mind with each of these sentences. I hung out with you. I adored you. I liked being around you. But I know who you are.
Right. All right. Maybe I'll stop doing that. But
Bob would be hanging out in the coffee shops with his snakeskin dress shoes and his greased back hairs, waiting for the next rockabilly band to take the stage, and calling over any Betty Page hairdo he saw to come sit with him so they could chat. And this is where I lose track of my joke. What were you going to say?
Every Wednesday night. Well, I mean, I was going to say that this is for the older generation who remembered the movie maybe and remembered the song. And so maybe this was just another way to speak to that fandom, that age group of fans.
Maybe. It's just too jarring for me. It just took me out of it. So much that what comes next? What child is this?
Yeah, you need to get
track.
Jesus back into this, right?
Well, he likes to. He's pulling Jesus out left and right. Do you like this song? This is an old carol, a classic carol.
I think we sang this in church. I think this was a hymn that we would sing during the Christmas season. And I liked my version of it better. My church's version of it better.
Oh, I thought you had some joke lyrics. You mean you liked singing it in church?
I did. I liked singing this song in church. I don't care for it on this album. It's fine, I guess, but...
I mean, I've never liked this song, but I have to say, because I listened to this album in one sitting, I was really exhausted by this point. That last Clockwork Sound song, but also just getting to track 9 and what's still going, that this song kind of gave me a moment to check out. Like, this did do what you can do with Christmas music. It played in the background. I knew it wasn't one I cared for. I could take a breath and kind of air myself out because it was really starting to smell like Connick Jr. in here because it's so smuggy. So yeah, I mean, again, I get why it's here. Like you said, it's a Christmas carol, but the strings are a bit too much.
Yeah.
Yeah. And again, like you said, it's very churchy. This is a very Christian Christmas album. And I mean, are Christmas albums supposed to be this Christian?
Some of them can be. I mean, it is a Christian holiday.
It is. No, it is. But is Harry Connick Jr. a Christian performer? I'm saying this for a reason. I'm not trashing Christianity.
I think he's a safe performer. You know, I don't think his music is going to turn off, you know, a staunch Christian in any way. So I don't know that is his market per se.
He's really laying into it in this album.
Well, it's a Christmas album, Tim.
It is, but that's what I'm saying. Like, I think the Christmas albums I grew up with, I didn't always think about the religious, and some of it's fine. I'm not saying some of it. It's fine.
It's like 60-40 because I'm looking at the track listings. You've got, I'll say, a winter song, and then a Christmas Christian song, and then a Santa song, and then a Christian song, and then a winter song, and then a Christian toy Christian Christmas romance, I guess, Christian reindeer, Christian dating. So
Match.com basically is what he released to the world.
So yeah, you're right. There's a lot of Christian in there.
What's track 10? Track
10 is Christmas Dreaming.
Yeah.
Which is another song I didn't know existed before hearing it on this album. I love this song.
You love this song?
I think it's so sweet. I think it's great. And I like the sound of it because it's a little different than everything else on the album because it's got these female backing vocals, almost like a choir.
Creepy opening choir, yeah.
I don't think it's creepy. It reminds me of, and I mentioned it earlier, the Ray Coniff singers. They have a similar sound. All of their covers are kind of in this style of song. And maybe that's why I liked it because that's the one I grew up with my family. But I like this song.
Okay. Yeah, sitting here right now, I don't remember much of how it sounds. But again, it's Christmas music, and this one I think I felt like it was Christmas music, and I get having that playing during the season. It's just making it through this whole album is hard. So I think if I didn't recognize it as something, it wasn't gonna stick.
I consider this actually the hidden gem of the song of the album.
Really, you really like this track.
I really do. I wish it were played publicly more. I wish this became the radio track. I really like it.
That's a nice find. Have you ever heard anyone else do a version of it? Because again, I don't know it.
No.
But he didn't write it.
No, this is someone else wrote it, and I think it's Irving Gordon and Lester Lee. I don't know who they are.
Yeah, I don't know, but one of them has a very unfortunate first name.
Lester.
No, Irvin. No, you're right. Yeah. Oh, well, that's nice. Again, it didn't really stick with me, but that's cool that this far into the album you can find something you like.
In a couple weeks, go and just play this one song. And I think you'll find it's nice. I think after you've been dragging yourself through the album, this one probably didn't do anything for you. But if you were to just listen to it on its own standing, I think you'd find it's pleasant.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of not doing anything for me.
Oh, come on.
Track 11.
That's the best song.
I Pray on Christmas is the best song?
It's a pretty good song. I like I Pray on Christmas.
I wrote in my notes, oh no, Doo-Wop.
Yes. Yes.
No,
Doo-Wop.
I do remember this song. This and Must Have Been Old Santa Claus are the two from this album. I feel like I remember you playing a lot. And for all my not liking it, it does also remind me of you. So I do like that part of it. But I think this song is so showy and so full of itself. I think is he doing all the parts in this, all the melodies?
It's not all him.
It's not.
No, it's his band.
So it's not. Yeah. It is.
Yeah, he's done a cappella, doo-wop type songs on other albums.
Well, that's what this is.
Him and the band.
I'm sure he has. And again, he's more than welcome to. Do you like a doo-wop kind of Christmas song? I guess you do.
Yeah, I don't mind it. I think it works. I think it works. It's still in his style. And I think it works. I think it's, yes, I can hear the smugness now that you've ingrained that into me.
Massively so. He's so proud of what he's doing. He's so proud. And here's the thing. This maybe is why it's distracting, or one of the many, many reasons it's distracting. He's so proud of the fact that he's doing a callback. He's so proud that he's appealing to your grandparents and your parents. He's doing all these generations of music. He's so caught up in it. Like, look what I can do, the music of my youth. He's not trying anything new here.
No, but he's having, you see it as smugness, but I see it as,
I hear it as smugness. I haven't watched that video yet. He's having,
I'm going to stay on. I want you to watch it while I'm listening.
Sure.
You probably don't know this about Harry Connick Jr., and I don't know too much about it because I've never been to New Orleans, and I'm not.
I thought you were going to say, and I don't know about Harry Connick Jr., but here's a fact.
I'm not a music historian, but New Orleans. He's from New Orleans. That's where he grew up. His father was a musician.
Was he a magician? Could he make half of this album disappear?
But he grew up in studios and in bands and around bands in New Orleans. And a lot of what they do is this fun street music where they're just jamming away. They've got they're playing and they're having fun and they're talking to each other. You know, they're encouraging each other throughout the song. And this to me sounds like a version of that. That's some of his New Orleans upbringing coming out in a song like this, where it's a party. It's a party about Christmas and praying and love. And so that's his New Orleans kind of take on it. And again, I might be totally off base calling it a New Orleans type sounding song. I know that there are other songs that sound vastly different that are New Orleans type, but I get that kind of vibe from it. I get a street vibe from this song.
I get that vibe from the movie Armageddon when they sing Leaving on a Jet Plane and you realize that half the cast can't sing. That's what I get from this. But I don't know, but everything you just said about him. Yes, he grew up with his father playing his father's music in all these circles. And now I just feel like he's he can't because it's a recording. I know he doesn't physically live on the disc, but I feel like as it's playing, he's constantly glancing out with each spin of that disc under the laser beam, making sure that, yep, people are still listening. People are wowed by this. Like, I think right before they recorded, he's like, we really got something here, guys. We're going to blow their panties off. And I think
that's there, but I don't think it's about him being proud of that. I think it's more of him saying, we're really going to bring the party to the people.
Like he did with his song In the Mask. Yeah, I don't know.
What song was In the Mask?
It's not Had to Be You, Could Have Been Me. Is that a song? It should have been 4 songs shorter. I don't know what it's called. He had one of his songs from one of his albums, You Had the Album, is also used in the closing credits of The Mask and had a video. And in that, he's playing a piano in public and looking at everybody. Everyone's crowding around him. And it's just like, oh my God, Harry Connick Jr. is here. He's going to change the world. I hope he gets a talk show for 4 months, 12 years down the line. But to get back to this and my difficulties with having this, we're also 11 songs in. Mm-hmm. Like, this makes me think of Huey Lewis and the News in the sense that maybe this should have been your last song then. You do your big band finish, and then you put this little secret track of, hey, let's snap our fingers. I don't think at this point of your album, you know what you don't need to do? You know what he doesn't need to do, but anybody really here's some free information if you're planning on putting a record together in 1993. What nobody ever needs to do when you've already asked someone to sit through 11 tracks is to then open up a track by shouting, hey, kids! Track 12, his predictable, and I'm surprised it took this long to get to, cover of Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer is a bad idea. Covering the song and how he covers it, this album is already too damn long. Like I said before, it should be 10 tracks, and this track should not be one of those tracks because you're giving us kids singing.
For a portion of the song, yeah.
For a portion of the song. But you're also pretending he's in the room with these kids, and that he's got to wrangle the kids to the microphone. Come on, kids. Keep it up, kids. Snap it to it. Fuck that dog, kids.
Yeah, the kids are also telling him we shouldn't be doing this because he's like, do you guys know the most famous reindeer of all? And they're like, yeah, of course we do. Shut the fuck up. We've heard this song more than we need to.
That's what the kids are saying. They're the so in this song they're sort of the representative of the audience.
Yeah.
Do you like Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer? Is that even a song you enjoy?
It is. I can't not enjoy it. It is like just such a part.
You're allowed to.
But it's such a part of my life. It's been around forever. I loved the animated special growing up and still like it today. So yeah, it's one of those that it's done over and over and over again, and you hear it for so long, so often, in so many different ways. But I don't love it, but I don't dislike it. I've never been put off by it, and I'm not even put off by this one.
But you need to hear someone cover it. Do you need another version
need to hear
of
it
in
again.
the
He
world?
didn't really
No.
add anything new to it.
No, and I don't mean to circle back, but it's one of those things that it's weird to me that there are certain Christmas songs where it's like, we've got enough versions. We can sing it ourselves. I'm sure there's an older version, and that's what makes a Christmas album odd, I guess, because again, it's a performer you like. I get why you own this album. I'm actually feeling like you're not crazy about this album the more we talk about it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not. Honestly, there's too much of these slower, sentimental, sappy Christian songs where he's trying too hard, I think. Including the next one. Oh my God.
Oh Holy Night?
Oh Holy Night, which is a song I like.
Yeah.
But this is a 7-minute Oh Holy Night. It is orchestrated up the wazoo. It honestly, to me, there are portions of it that sound like it's like a movie soundtrack, like it's trying to be something so much more than it needs to be.
Mm-hmm.
So no, I don't care for this version. And like you've been pointing out, we've been through so much already. Why do we have at the end a 7-minute song? I mean, I can get it if it's Champagne Supernova. Sure.
But Oh Holy Night.
No.
Yeah. I'll tell you, I think he pulls this one off pretty well.
Oh my goodness. But you're more of a theatrical guy. Like, this to me sounds like a movie soundtrack.
I don't know. It does. I mean, I've always liked this song. I think this is a solid Christmas song. It's religious, but I've always liked the sound of it. And this is a solid interpretation with the choir. I guess it's theatrical. For everything else on this album that's so overproduced, I don't feel like this one is overdone.
Really?
I mean,
wow.
it's a little too long.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, there is a little too much. I didn't know that.
I mean, it sounds like there's different movements. Like it's going through, like you say, there's a choral choir part, and then there's the aggressive string section part, and then there's the mystical sounding string section part. To me, I tired of it quite quickly.
But I feel like that's also this particular song. Like, I remember this song. This wasn't a song. I mean, I guess we sang it too, but I remember there was always a soloist who would sing it at Christmas pageants and stuff. And it has that sweeping motion to it, and it has that feel to it. And again, I think it's because I came into this. This is one of my favorite Christmas songs. It's one of the ones where the religious iconic imagery of it, I'm not religious, but I'm like, all right, it works for the song, what it's talking about. I like it. And again, it is a little too much because of the length, but I think he does it really well. I think it is very produced, but in a way that he doesn't sound smug. It's nice to have that choir. And I guess what I'm wondering, and you don't like it, so that's interesting, but this would have been a good end to your album, I think.
Yeah, I could see that. Yes, it could pull off a Champagne Supernova for this album.
Or he could then lead into Champagne Supernova, because I don't think that existed yet at the time. But no, I really just kicked my microphone too. Or not my microphone, but what it's connected to. And now I'm telling you this in a bunch of broken off sentences. But it's actually a small little dinner tray with a flip, what do you call them? Laptop. God. I don't know. I do like this song, and I find it bizarre that you don't. Do you think if this was it, like, I feel like he could have done this. This is another song where I'm like, just put this on something. Do you think on its own, outside of the album, you would like it, or have you never liked this version?
I mean, maybe.
There's a couple songs like that.
I'd have to go back and because you're right. It's like now we're at the end of the song. I've already gone through a couple of, Ave Maria, What Child Is This, and now O Holy Night. So, and it's a 7-minute version of O Holy Night. So maybe if I just heard it on its own, it might.
Yeah, I mean, you don't have. I don't mean that you have to like it. I'm just saying.
No. You go and listen to Christmas Dreaming on its own in 2 weeks, and I'll listen to this in 2 weeks on its own.
Oh, okay, I could do that.
Deal.
We have to wait a little longer, I think, to listen to the last track. We're finally at the end of this album, track 14.
We made it.
A good 4 weeks into this album. What's the last song? What's that called?
It's called What Are You Doing New Year's Eve?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's another one that I didn't know existed until this album.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a classic, apparently. Lots of covers.
Yeah.
Of this song. You don't care for it.
I do not. Don't mix your holidays, man. That's the thing. There's a week for New Year's, and New Year's is a wonderful thing. It's this depressing time of the year. It's the end of an era. It's I didn't do what I wanted to do this year. I'm going to make some false promises, and I'm getting older. Like I enjoy the moroseness of a New Year's Eve kind of thing. I don't want to think about that in the very brief time of passing of Christmas. I know Christmas extends a long way, but I just feel like, and there's a lot of sadness in that era.
Sure.
But I'm just like, give me Christmas Day. Give me Christmas Eve. I'll be depressed Christmas Day, but give me Christmas Eve to have my one last false gasp of joy. And then, and that feeling that it's sincere, but brief and fleeting of some sort of warmth and unity. Give me that. You're putting, to have this playing, like, how do you put this in the background? It's a whole different holiday.
Yeah.
It's like he might as well halfway through the album have broken to a rather piano rendition of "Have You Seen the Ghost of John?" Long white bones with the doo-wop, skin all good. I'm not going to do that. Forget it. But just what I'm saying, like, I don't. It's not an interesting song either. Like this, I felt like this was someone who can't carry a tune. I felt like he was someone was talking over the song.
It's not my favorite version of this song. Now that I've once I was introduced to this song. Yeah, I've heard different versions. I've heard the originals from like the 40s, and then I think Ella Fitzgerald did a cover, and then my favorite version, talk about smugness, is Zoe Deschanel and Jordan Gordon-Levitt did a YouTube video of this song, which I really enjoy. I can't watch the video because
I like it even less now.
What's that?
I like the song even less now.
I hear that, but
only because of the Third Rock from the Sun guy. I'm fine with the new girl.
You want to see Smug? Look at that video.
I don't. I've seen him. I've seen his video. We Make Home video movie show. He's smug, he's
smug, but he's got a nice voice, and I like that rendition of the song. I can listen to the song. I can't watch the video.
But can you listen to it on a Christmas album?
No, it doesn't need to be on a Christmas album.
Tied into Christmas. No, it's not. They're separate things, right?
This song could be. This is just a nice pop song. It could be in March. It could be in July. It's a romantic song. Somebody's just wanting to.
Well, I think the song is clearly
date.
Setting it. Okay, yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
But why is it here? The album's already long enough. Why is it here?
I think
other than to give another
song.
reason for him to feel good about getting inside everybody's parents' pants.
Well, I think it's
jiggling around for a little while, musically speaking.
It's probably a song that he just knew. It's because it is a classic, and he just felt that he wanted to record it. I don't think it needs to be on a Christmas album. I think it is a song you can play anytime. It's a pop song. I think it can play any time of the year.
Is this album it's very much tied into a time for you, right?
Oh, it's definitely tied into that time for sure. Because as we progress through our lives, I had other people playing other albums, and then we had just other ways of hearing music. And so it's just gotten to the point where I never pull it out at Christmas, the album, and don't listen to it. And so it's not like when I grew up and it's like, here are the 4 albums that we're going to play in rotation at Christmas time. Because now it's like, hey, let's just play that radio station. Let's just turn on Spotify. Let's just hear every song that could possibly exist played over and over again. So you're going to hear your Sting. I never had Sting, but I've heard that Sting song, and you'll hear.
I saw 3 ships come sailing in.
Yeah, you'll hear all these songs, and it doesn't matter who the artist is, and sometimes you don't know. You just hear another cover, and it's like, oh, is that Josh Groban or is that Macy Gray? I don't know, but it's somebody, and it's Christmas.
Or is it whoever sings Humpty Dance? No, that's. And I guess it makes it, or begs the question. Doesn't beg the question. I'm going to ask the question: do we need Christmas albums, or can pop stars just do a Christmas song? I guess the problem or question with that is when you record just a single Christmas song. Back then, not so much now because you can do it, but back then, how do you release it? What do you put it on? Is that why? Yeah. People I think that's why albums.
There were more albums, Christmas albums back then. I think there still are. I just don't hear about them. Mm-hmm. But I also don't hear about Christmas compilation albums, and that's what those Christmas albums we were talking about that now I can't remember the name of again.
Oh my God, what a Christmas! What's it called? Wow, Christmas now. No, what? But a very special Christmas, maybe.
But yeah, I remember people were picking those albums up because it was exactly what you needed. It's just one song from one artist and then another song from a different artist that you know. Those were perfect. I don't think people are putting albums in complete albums and listening from beginning to end for one artist anymore.
For the holidays. Yeah. Will you play this album for your daughters?
Nope.
Oh.
I've played certain songs off of here, and these songs pop up. I have a mix. I used to have a Christmas mix of songs that I pulled from various places, but I've never put this album in or played just this album at the holidays. It would always just be the random mix since they were born. And Guster's I Want an Alien for Christmas.
Oh, boy, should have thrown that in there. Throw your underground pop band reference in there. Guster. That's my Guster song that my girls, I'm sure, would request.
That might not be Guster. That might be Fountains of Wayne.
Oh, no. now we're talking about two bands. I think Neutral Milk Hotel's Christmas track.
Oh yeah, that could be
might be my
Hotel.
favorite, or maybe it was when the Magnetic Fields had their Christmas album.
No, this
each
is
song is named after one of the
Letters
reindeer.
to Cleo, I believe, released the same track, or maybe it's
PJ Harvey, I think, threw up into a microphone
the
during
Long
a
Winters
Christmas album.
might have done that.
The Decemberists.
Yep, all them.
Jesse and the Rippers, do they have a Christmas track?
They better.
They might. But we had these tracks. Did you enjoy listening to it, the album?
It was nice to go back to it because I haven't been back to it, so it was nice to go back to it.
I think it was too early in the year for me. Like
Okay.
it didn't even make me want to seek out the Christmas songs I like, which is what I thought might happen.
Sure.
I liked it less than I thought I would, and I'm probably never going to listen to it again. Ho, ho, ho. Merry Christmas to you, Bob. That's my gift. I hate the album you kindly brought to me, not only 20 whatever years ago, but for this interesting and insightful episode of the show itself.
Oh, well, you're welcome, Tim.
And if you want to hear Bob and I suggest more topics that one of us can't stand, check out 20popcast.com. That's the main website for this show, 20th Century Pop, that you just listened to. The most recent episode is always up right there on the homepage streaming, so you can hear it. There's also links to all of our past episodes, so you can go back and listen to those. The website's in a little bit of a flux right now because I've been doing some work on it, updating a few things. Hopefully it'll be even closer to being done by the time this episode goes up, but there might be some older links to older episodes, some of the episodes from 2017, maybe some from 2018 too, where the player isn't working at the minute. We're working on it. They'll all be up there so you can go back and listen to old episodes, but check us out there, 20popcast.com. You can also subscribe to this show there, however you listen to podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, Google Play. We're on a bunch of them, so you can always get a new episode when it comes out. You can also check us out on Instagram at 20popcast, as well as on Twitter at 20popcast. And we try to post photos, we try to post images, links and things like that to the show. Bob, anything you want to say about yourself as we close out this?
Nah.
Yeah,
I thought I'd go.
Nothing you want to promote?
I thought I wouldn't promote anything today. No, I will
Nothing
do
you
my
promised
usual.
last time. Okay.
I will
wow.
do my usual of saying, reach out to us. Let us know what Christmas tracks, Christmas albums you like. I know we weren't talking about any new Christmas albums, and I can't speak to any, but if you know of an artist, probably Kelly Clarkson, who has released a recent Christmas album, let us know. And if there are
Or any
other,
one of those fantastic costumes on The Masked Singer. One of them must have a Christmas album.
They must. They must. But thanks for listening. Happy holidays. I look forward to our next Christmas episode coming up.
Yes, happy holidays. Or if you're into the show the day it arrives, enjoy that Thanksgiving dinner, and I hope your talks of politics are not awful because of Thanksgiving. Because today is actually Thanksgiving when this goes up. We did a whole Christmas episode, whined a little bit about the earliness of Christmas and things being out of season, and here we go. We did it. We did it
I have a feeling
ourselves.
our regular listeners probably are going to be a little busy the day this releases, and so they'll be listening to it the day after Christmas, which is now the official Christmas season. So I think we're good.
So you're going to listen to it on Friday, and I'll listen to it today.
No, I'll probably listen to it like Christmas Eve.
Well, it'll be timely then. More so than now. But yeah, Merry Christmas to everybody.
Merry Christmas.
Okay, hold on. So what I'm going to be checking out is this Harry Connick Jr. video you suggested, When My Heart Finds Christmas. And listeners at home, if you want to sync up our real-time viewing of When My Heart Finds Christmas, it is available on a perfectly legal-to-view app called YouTube. And I am about to hit play. There I go. Because I'm you said he was walking into a studio.
Yeah, right there.
I think he's walking to the video that they're about to make.
No, but it's clearly a studio. But now
Is that
they've got this
Elf?
fake house.
Are they excited because he's bringing gifts, or because it's that guy who makes mommy wet? Like, are we supposed to know that they know who Harry Connick is?
I think they
Lord
do.
of the Flies situation children.
But did you notice they slammed the door in his face?
They couldn't believe it was him, and then I think he probably said, "Hey, go fuck that dog. I gotta sing to the audience."
Now you see how he's like
looking
really
right
sincere?
at. Yeah, I didn't like that.
And now look, now he's starting to
staring
smirk.
right at me. Wow, we're a couple seconds off because I've got a kid picking its nose, and a Harry Connick Jr. who, I don't like this. You know what's weird too is he's filling the screen to a life-size angle. I think he's expecting people are going to want to pretend that they can lick my lips. So let's pull him a little tighter so they can lean in. Yeah, he's banging on that door to be let in. These kids are in their bathrobes or pirate costumes.
And they're so excited.
And there's no snow. He's standing in the middle of the Promise of a New Day Paula Abdul video, it looks like.
His head is so big in the screen that you can't
I don't like that.
You can't see his chin and you can't see his hair. It's just really his face.
That girl does look depressed.
Striking blue eyes. Yeah, she's down.
Look fine. Are they supposed to be elves? Because they're tearing. Oh, he's wearing the same sweater he's wearing on the album cover.
They're probably supposed to be orphans.
Orphaned elves. I don't like that he does look at us. I don't like how close he's looking. I don't like. You know what? He doesn't film well from the top either. He films. I mean, he's very attractive. I can't say that he's not.
See, I think he's got that ugly attractiveness to him.
I disagree. I think he's very attractive. He's carrying these kids like a sack of bread. Like he just bought a loaf of home pride bread or a bag of rice.
And he's ignoring that girl. She's clearly sad. And she's just like, whatever. I'm going to carry this kid.
I'm sorry. I don't think we're synced up here. I think they're opening a chair. He gave them a chair for Christmas. And he's using the chair. So he gave himself a chair. This for Christmas.
Now they get to sit on his lap, Tim.
Well, that girl doesn't. She's holding that bear like it's choking, but I have the volume down too, just because I didn't want any rights issues. But there's no kid choir. It looked like they were singing along. Yep, get out of my chair is what I think he just said. There's a lot of juggling of children. This is annoying. This is an annoying trope. And when people want, like, don't forget that I just want to show them how good I am with kids. I can just play around. Just bring any kids in. I'm going to be all natural with them. I'm going to be like straightforward. Kids love me. They really relate to 40s big band. But if there's one thing an 8-year-old in 1993, and a snuggle.
Oh, good.
An 8-year-old in 1993 needed, it was the talk with a guy who has an upright bass in his band.
But
is that the snow globe from St. Elsewhere?
I think that's probably. But it's like, what?
Tommy Wiseau or whatever that character's name is?
What's the point of this, though? Like,
we're supposed to think he's good with kids.
I guess. Look at that smile.
Like
creepy smile.
He doesn't leave at the end?
I
thought he was going to leave. Yeah, I thought he was going to... Wow, that was it. I thought he would have at least left the house by the end of that. That was not good.
Like, was he the spirit of Christmas? Is that why the kids were excited?
Or were those kids spirits and he had killed them previously and buried them in that shack?
Could be. And we never did see the sad girl become happy again. He forced her to sit on the chair and forced her to open the present. We don't know that she liked any of it.
I mean, that's the most believable part of the video. She's not going to be happy again. She was forced into the holidays, the Harry Connick holidays. She probably, you know what? I bet she was the one who got a gift from him. I bet he gave her his album, the Christmas album. Said, why don't you go play this? You're going to love it. Why don't you take off your Salt and Pepper albums and put in Harry Pepper? That's me. I'm hot stuff. Put me in your CD player. Give me a spin. Give the boys a spin, huh? 1, 2, 3, right? Hey, you guys remember Christmas music? Yeah? What am I, Bruce Springsteen, but badly? I just, oh my God. That just brought back everything, how awful that album was. Thanks for nothing. Thanks for nothing, Harry Connick Jr.